So far in this section, we have learned that when a function is called, the execution context gets created for that function in the call stack. And for each execution context, during the creation phase, a variable object is created, its scope chain is determined, and also the value of this variable is calculated. Now, we learned how a variable object is created for an execution context. After the variable object is created, the scope chain of the current execution context is also determined. So before we learn how a scope chain is created, let's first briefly understand what a scope is and what are different types of scopes in JavaScript. Scope controls how JavaScript variables are organized and accessed by JavaScript engine. A scope tells where the JavaScript variable and function lives and where can we access a certain variable or a function and where we cannot. In more simple words, scope of a variable or a function is the entire region inside which that variable or function can be accessed and used. Now in JavaScript, we have three types of scope: global scope, function scope, and block scope. The top level code, that is the variables and functions that are not present inside any other function or block, is called as global variables and functions, and they have global scope. Let's understand this with an example. Now, in this example, the first name and last name variable and the calculate age function is not present inside any other function or code block. So these are global variables and functions. These global variables and global functions are accessible from anywhere in the program. That means they can be used in all functions and all blocks. For example, this first name and last name variable, since it is in global scope, it can be used anywhere in this JavaScript program. We can use it inside this calculate age function, or we can use it inside this if block, or we can also use it inside this isFullAge function. So these two variables and this calculate age function will be available throughout the program because they are in global scope. Each and every function in JavaScript creates a scope. The variables and functions declared inside any function are only accessible inside that function, and this is called as function scope. And a function scope is also called as local scope. Okay, so every function in JavaScript creates a new scope. Let's understand this with an example. So in this example, calculate age function will create a new scope. All the variables and functions declared inside this calculate age function will have function scope. Okay, so inside this calculate age function, we are declaring this birth year, current year, and age variable, and also this isFullAge function. So these three variables and this isFullAge function has function scope. They are local to this calculate age function. That means they can only be accessed and used inside this calculate age function. Outside of this calculate age function, they are not visible. If we try to use these variables and this function outside of this calculate age function, then we will get an error. Okay, so when a variable or a function has function scope, then they can only be accessed inside the function in which they are declared. These variables and functions are not visible outside of their parent function. Now inside this calculate age function, we also have this isFullAge function, and we learned that each function creates its own scope. So the isFullAge function, which is inside the calculate age function, will create its own scope. And the variable declared inside this isFullAge function will only be visible inside that function and not outside of it. So this is eligible variable which you see here, it is only visible inside this isFullAge function. If we try to access it or use it outside of this isFullAge function, we will get an error because this is eligible variable is local to this isFullAge function. All right. Now, it does not matter which type of function we are creating. The function declaration, function expression, and the arrow function all creates their own scope. All right. Now, traditionally, before ES6, The only way to create a new scope was by using a function. There was no block scope concept at that time. But starting from ES6, blocks also create scope. Okay? And by block, we mean everything that is created using curly braces. For example, block of if statement or block of for loop or while loop, etc. So variable declared inside a block is only accessible inside that block and not outside of it. And a block scope is created only for the variables declared using let or const. Let's understand this with an example. So in this example, inside this calculate age function, we have this if block. And inside this if block, we are declaring two variables, message1 and message2. This message1 is declared using let keyword, and this message2 is declared using var keyword. Now, what we have learned about block scope? We learned that variable declared inside a block is only accessible inside that block and not outside of it. And these variables are said to have block scope. And we also learned that a variable will only have block scope if it is created using let or const. If the variable is created using var, then it will have function scope, even if the variable is declared inside a code block. Okay, so if it is declared using var, it will have function scope and not block scope. So in this example, this message1 variable is declared using let keyword. So this message1 variable will have block scope. That means this message1, since it is declared inside this if block, it will only be accessible inside this if block. If we try to access and use it outside of this if block, we will get an error, because outside of this if block, this message1 variable will not be visible. On the other hand, this message2 variable is created using var keyword, and we learned that a variable declared using var has function scope. So that means this message2 has function scope. It is accessible in the function in which it is declared. Now this message2, we are declaring it inside this calculate age function. Even though we are declaring it inside the block, since it is created using var keyword, we can say that we have declared this message2 variable inside this calculate age function. So that means this message2 variable has function scope. It is local to this calculate age function. That means this message2 variable can be accessed anywhere inside this calculate age function because it has function scope. On the other hand, this message1 can only be accessed inside the block in which it is declared because it is created using let keyword, so it has block scope. All right. And this is the reason why prior to ES6, we only had global scope and function scope. There was no block scope at that time. That's because prior to ES6, there was only one way to create a variable, and that is by using var keyword. And just now we learned that var has function scope. So there was no way to create a block scope at that time. Also remember that a function will also have block scope if it is used in strict mode. Okay, so these are three types of scope in JavaScript: global scope, function scope, and block scope. Now in JavaScript, we also have something called as lexical scoping. Lexical scoping means the way variables are organized and accessed is entirely controlled by the placement of the functions and of blocks in the program code. For example, if a function or code block is sitting lexically within another function, sitting lexically within another scope, then that function or code block will have access to all variables and functions declared inside its parent scope. Let's understand this with an example. So in this program, this calculate age function is sitting lexically within this global scope. So this calculate age function will have access to all the variables and functions declared in the global scope. Okay, and what are the variables and functions we have in global scope? We have this first name and last name variable and also this calculate age function. So from inside this calculate age function, since it is sitting lexically within the global scope, this calculate age function will also have access to this first name and last name variable. That means we can use this first name and last name variable inside this calculate age function. Then this isFullAge function is sitting lexically within the scope of calculate age function, right? and also global scope. So this isFullAge function will have access to all the variables and functions which is declared in the calculateAge function, calculateAge function scope and global scope. So that means this isFullAge function, inside this isFullAge function, we can use all the variables and functions declared in its parent scope. Now the parent scope for this isFullAge function is the scope created by this calculateAge function, right? So inside this isFullAge function, we can use all the variables and functions which has a scope of this calculateAge function. That means this birth year, current year, and this age variable. We can use them inside this isFullAge function. And this isFullAge is also sitting lexically within this global scope. So it will also have access to this global variables and functions. Now in this example, we also have one more scope, and that scope is the scope created by this if block. Now this if block is also sitting lexically within the scope of calculateAge function and global scope. So if block will also have access to all the variables and functions which is declared in the scope of calculateAge function and the global scope. That means it will have access to all the variables and functions which is declared in its parent scope. Now for this if block also, the parent scope is this calculateAge function and this global scope. So inside this if block, we can use all the variables which is declared inside this calculateAge function and also all the global variables and functions. And this is called as lexical scoping. Lexical scoping is when a variable or a function is sitting lexically within another scope. In that case, it will have access to all the variables and functions of its parent scope. Now, in this example, this if block and this isFullAge function, they are sitting in the same parent, but they are adjacent scopes of each other. So here a scope is created by this if block, and here the scope is created by this isFullAge function. But these two scopes are adjacent scopes. And when we have adjacent scope, in that case, one scope cannot access the variables and functions of its adjacent scope. So inside this isFullAge function, you cannot use this message1 variable because it is declared inside this if block. And inside this if block, you cannot use this isEligible variable. Okay, it will not have access to this isEligible variable. But this message2 variable can be accessed by this isFullAge function. Why? That's because this message2 does not have a block scope. It has a function scope. That means this message2 has a scope of this calculateAge. And just now we learned that a function sitting lexically within another scope will have access to all the variables and functions of its parent scope. And in this case, in case of isFullAge, the parent scope is this calculateAge, and it also has this message2 variable. Okay, this message2 is present in the scope of this calculateAge function. That's why this isFullAge will have access to this message2 variable. So I hope all these make sense here. Alright, so this is all about what a scope is, what are the different types of scope we have in JavaScript, and what is lexical scoping. Now, because of this lexical scoping, a scope chain gets created in the execution context of each function. And in the next lecture, we will learn how this scope chain is created internally inside an execution context. So this is all from this lecture. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.